Today, I am reviewing the Alienware 16 Area-51 gaming laptop. If at any time you'd like to explore this product for yourself and grab it at a great price, be sure to check the links below the video. If you are looking for a laptop that basically functions as a portable desktop replacement and you have absolutely no intention of carrying it around on a daily basis, the new Alienware Area-51 16-inch model for 2026 might be the most powerful machine you can buy right now, but it comes with some very heavy strings attached. I've been putting this machine through its paces for the last 2 weeks, and while the sheer performance is staggering, there are some design choices here that might make you think twice before dropping this much money. If you are curious about current pricing or want to check out the specific configurations available, you can find links below the video to explore the product page. Let us start with the elephant in the room, which is the sheer scale of this thing. When you take this out of the box, you realize immediately that this is not a thin and light ultrabook. It is a dense, heavy, and unapologetically massive piece of hardware. The build quality is quintessentially Alienware, meaning it feels premium, rigid, and dense, but the weight will be your biggest enemy if you plan on commuting with this. It feels like you are carrying a small anvil in your backpack. However, that mass serves a purpose. The thermal management system, which Dell is calling the Cryo-Chamber architecture, is genuinely impressive. During my testing, where I ran heavy rendering tasks alongside AAA gaming titles, the fans definitely spin up to a noticeable hum, but it never reached that high-pitched, piercing whine that plagues smaller gaming laptops. The quad fan setup moves a significant amount of air, and the clear Gorilla Glass intake section is a nice aesthetic touch that actually serves a cooling function. Performance is where this machine justifies its existence. The Intel Ultra 9275HX is a beast. With 24 cores pushing up to 5.4 GHz, I found that stuttering in CPU-bound games is practically non-existent. Multitasking while gaming, for instance having a stream running on a second monitor, a browser with 50 tabs open, and a Discord call going, barely registers on the performance metrics. The real star, though, is the RTX 5080 with 16 GB of GDDR7 memory. The jump to the Blackwell architecture is noticeable. When you are running games that support DLSS 4, the frame generation is incredibly smooth and the input latency is managed so well that you would be hard-pressed to tell it apart from native rendering. I was hitting well over 140 frames per second on almost every modern title I threw at it at the native WQXGA resolution. The 16-inch display is another highlight. The 240Hz refresh rate makes everything feel fluid, and the 100% DCI P3 color gamut means that colors pop in a way that makes this a legitimate tool for video editing or color-sensitive work, not just gaming. The brightness levels are sufficient for most indoor environments, though if you are working near a bright window, you might notice some reflections despite the anti-glare coating. It is a G-Sync panel, which is standard for this tier of laptop, but it is implemented perfectly here. I did not notice any ghosting or smearing even in very fast-paced shooters. If you want to see the latest specs or check for any current discounts, feel free to use the links below the video. Now, let us talk about the disappointments, because no laptop is perfect. The power brick for this machine is almost as large as a brick you would use to build a house. You are effectively tethered to a wall outlet for any serious gaming session. Even though the battery is decent for a machine of this caliber, you are not going to get through a full day of work on battery power alone if you are pushing the hardware. The power adapter is heavy, bulky, and adds even more weight to your bag. If you are a student or a remote worker who moves between coffee shops, this is going to be a major pain point. Another issue is the software bloat. Alienware Command Center has improved over the years, but it still feels a bit clunky compared to the hardware it is trying to manage. I found myself having to restart the software a few times during my testing to get the lighting profiles to sync correctly or to get the thermal modes to switch properly. It is not a deal breaker, but it is a minor annoyance that you should be aware of. Additionally, the 4K webcam is a welcome upgrade, but the software processing on it can sometimes make skin tones look a bit washed out or overly sharpened. It is perfectly fine for Zoom calls, but do not expect studio quality video without some external lighting. The keyboard and trackpad are standard for Alienware. The per key RGB is vibrant, and the tactile feel of the keys is snappy and satisfying. However, the layout can take some getting used to if you're coming from a standard desktop mechanical keyboard. The trackpad is large and responsive, but because of the size of the laptop, I found myself accidentally brushing it with my palm occasionally while typing. It is something you get used to, but it is worth noting. If you are a professional gamer, a content creator who needs raw power on the go, or someone who wants a desktop-class experience without having to build a full rig, this laptop is a fantastic investment. The thermal headroom provided by that 240W total power draw means you are not going to see the aggressive thermal throttling that ruins the experience on thinner laptops. It is a machine that is built to last for the next 3 to 4 years without needing an upgrade. However, if you are a casual gamer or someone who prioritizes portability, you should absolutely look elsewhere. There are plenty of thinner, lighter, and more affordable options that will get you 90% of the way there without the physical burden of the Area-51. I also want to touch on the port selection. You get a good variety, but I would have liked to see an additional USB-C port on the side. The placement of the ports on the back is great for cable management, especially for your power and display cables, but it can be a bit awkward if you are constantly plugging and unplugging peripherals. It is a design choice that favors the stationary user, which reinforces my point that this is a desktop replacement first and a portable laptop second. Value is always a tricky conversation with high-end tech. Yes, it is expensive. You are paying for the latest generation of graphics, a premium chassis, and a very capable cooling system. If you buy this, you are buying a top-tier piece of equipment. You're not just paying for the brand name, you're paying for the engineering that keeps the RTX 5080 from melting under load. If you are on a budget, this is obviously not the right product for you. But if you have the budget and you value raw performance over portability, the price-to-performance ratio is actually quite competitive given the current market. Again, check the links below the video if you want to see the current pricing and compare it against other high-end options. One final note on the Windows 11 Pro experience. It is snappy, and the integration with the hardware is solid. I did not run into any driver crashes or major compatibility issues during my testing, which is a testament to how well Dell has optimized the system. The Wi-Fi 7 performance was also excellent, provided you have a compatible router. I saw speeds that were consistently maxing out my home fiber connection, which is great for those massive game downloads. In summary, the Alienware Area-51 is a niche device. It is not for the masses, and it certainly isn't for the person who values convenience above all else. It is a high-performance machine that is designed to sit on a desk, power through heavy workloads, and handle the most demanding games at maximum settings. It runs cool, it looks professional, and it performs exactly as advertised. Just make sure you are prepared for the weight and the size before you commit to it. If you have any questions about my experience with the thermals or how it handled specific games, leave a comment below. Don't forget to check the links in the description to see if this fits your setup. Thanks for watching, and I hope this helped you decide whether this beast is the right upgrade for your workflow or your gaming cave.